The world is your oyster. Welcome from Canggu in Bali. How are you? How has the last week been for you? Some of you are struggling and some of you are thriving. So today I want to do a live about the world being your oyster, that the pain and suffering does end. I do hear some of you saying, "Oh Manny, when is it going to end? Will I ever be able to be myself again?" And the answer to that question is yes, you will be able to be yourself again, and you'll be able to be happy, and you'll be able to be joyful. So write down in the comments below how the last week has been for you, whether you have been going through a lot or not. So Bali is quite humid. It is beautiful though. And I will be talking more about that in the coming weeks to come. So please be mindful. I see someone's writing something in there which may not be mindful and kind. So please be humble and respectful. Okay, so the last week, how has it been for you? For me, I was babysitting my friend's twins, and my sister was there, and the twins were ill, and I kept blowing their snotty noses. And they were at one point, my friend gave me dinner, and the boy sneezed on my plate. But I didn't mind it. But then it got me really ill. And then I was kind of like really ill for like 2 days, and then I did lots of herbal remedies because I had to get the flight. And then the night before the flight, my twin came in the dream world and was with me physically and healed me. Actually, it made me feel much better. So that was quite nice. But there's been loads of dreams. Have you been going through a lot of dreams? I've heard a lot of you have. I had a dream where it was quite interesting. So I found my twin, and he was in a lighthouse in Denmark. And I believe that's the time when I was traveling in Denmark. It was going back to that time, but it happened that night, this week. And basically, he was on the phone and he was telling me his parents had died, and I was like really sad. So I appeared into the lighthouse in Denmark in front of him, and he seemed normal, but I was like crying so much and was like really struggling. And he's like, "Yeah, I've come to cremate them in Denmark." I'm like, "Okay." And then he says to me that he's living in Paris and in Venice, which are romantic cities now. And then my parents show up in the lighthouse. And we've talked about parents before in posts, and some of your parents are not very great, which is not good. And there was lots of issues too. If you remember from lives previous, I would show up fighting with them, but they're now very, very ascended and kind and loving and very supportive. So they show up in the lighthouse, and then I wake up because it's quite a traumatic dream to hear that. But clearly, it's not the real physical death of the twins' parents; it's their control and hold over the DM. Then I went back to bed, and then I was woken up abruptly and rudely by a bee sting, a wasp sting, sorry. I don't know how the wasp got into my bed, into my pajamas, and bit me on my right thigh and my left shoulder, and it died. So that was kind of like a bit of an omen too. And wasps, it's for your right and left side, masculine and feminine, teaching you about listening to your own intuition and things you're not doing. It's kind of a wake-up call. So that was an interesting dream. And if you're having any interesting dreams, write them down as well. Someone there called Vazextasy, please can you stop commenting or you'll be ejected, because I feel like you are writing some not good things here. For now, thank you. Respect. We'll talk about it in a second, but respect for now. So another dream I had, with my sister, it was healing fear. So I've been ill this week because of fear and things like that I'm purging from the family line. But all of a sudden, I'm in the dream with my sister, trying to get a fear out of her. And I go into a plant-based state, which I haven't had. So Bufo, when you take it, if you remember, it takes you into the whole sort of like soup of source consciousness, where you're no longer a physical being and you no longer have a mind. So it's kind of like purging stuff for family as well. So tell me about the dreams you've been having and how the week has been for you, because September was the eclipse. A lot of the DFs got the ick. Oh, we got a nice little bird. Can you hear it? And it's nearly midnight here at nighttime in Bali. Okay. So a lot of the DFs got icks and started to surrender and started to move on with their lives. And the DMs got a big kick up the backside. And October has been a big DM's awakening period. Now, I don't say all DMs, and I don't ever say that all of us are going through the same thing at the same time, because again, some of you are new to the journey. Some of you have done no work. Some of you have big karma to deal with, ancestral stuff, humanity templates. Some of you are lazy. Some of you are not doing your purpose. Some of you are not going all in. Some of you are staying in victim mode. Some of you are staying at home, laying on the sofa, thinking your DM should come and save you. All of those type of people, you know, it's going to still be painful times right now. It's still going to be purging times. It's still going to be a lot of stuff being taken out of you. You're being dragged, kicking and screaming. And that's why it's hard, okay? But some of you are also having more of a gentler awakening, and you didn't have a full kundalini. And some of you are not twin flames and just on the journey and thinking you are. So all that's going on, right? But then there's others who are doing the work, who are investing, who are doing the purpose, who are surrendering, who are aligning, who are getting into their abundance grids, who are doing their purpose, who are surrendering, and who are moving forwards with tenacity, with pride, with power, with I was going to say with vengeance, but you know, with that motivation. And those DFs who are doing that, you will see your DM's life completely change. Now, some of your DMs will still be in ego if you haven't done enough work, or there's still work to be done. And some of your DMs will be still in like a collapsed state, which is good because they have to collapse in order to rebuild. And then some of your DMs are in the rebuilding stage, which is my DM is, and some of your DMs would have fully ascended. You know, my DM posted something this week, which is really amazing, and I reposted it on my stories, which was about in your 30s, you realize you start people pleasing and you have to burn it all to the ground. And my DM's not a spiritual person at all, and my DM would never write any motivational concepts or things like that ever to the world. So that if that's not a nod to where some of the DMs are at, I don't know what is. So I know for a fact, if you do your inner work, even if your DM is a total matrix person with no spiritual insight, they will change. That's what happened in my case. Some of your DMs are spiritual and really easy. And some of you are not even twin flames and they're just soulmates and you think it's easy. So that's that, you know. But today's live is about the world being your oyster. I'll look at comments later. I'll look at what your dreams have been, how your week's gone. But let's talk about the world being your oyster, okay? So magic abounds. Magic is everywhere. As I landed in Bali, I felt a sense of peace. It's very positive, very a beautiful energy here. It's very calm, very encompassing. I can feel energy. And people are very sweet here. They're 80% Hindu. They believe in karma, which is contrasted deeply if you've ever been to India. Because in India, they've seemed to, I believe, forgotten all their religious and spiritual backgrounding, and it's all dog eat dog, and it's all let's steal your money and take advantage of you. Whereas here, they still believe in treating people with respect and kindness. And magic is everywhere. And the question is whether you're allowing that to come through you as a vessel. Are you allowing yourself to be a conduit, a channel, to let that beautiful magic come through you? Are you allowing yourself to die egotistically, your ego die? Are you allowing yourself to fully flow with the energy coming from above? You know, when you are in 0 point, in a union, in the now, in alignment, in that third energy field, in that state of peace and bliss, in that state where you've let go of the chitter-chatter and the judgment and the madness, you know. And I've just seen some comments there about saying that some of you are lazy. Some of you are not lazy, you know. Some of you are though. So I'm gonna say that. And if that triggers you, good. Because if you're not lazy, you'll be fine. You know that you're doing the work. Anyway, let's go back to that. Being a conduit of that beautiful energy, being in 0 point, being in the third energy field, being in oneness, not having judgment, not thinking about the past, the present, or the future, being in the now. And each now and each second, you are whole, you are complete. And in that place, abundance abounds, magic flows, things come to you with ease. You think it and it happens, you know. Such magical things happen. Such beautiful things happen. Today, the owner of this beautiful villa, got me a scooter. And if you are in that energy of abundance and divine energy, right, everyone wants to serve you and help you. And they gave me freebies, like a raincoat. I got a really beautiful moped, and everything just worked out. You know, anything you want. I had a driver yesterday, and he was like, you know, I'll show you the village, I'll do this, I'll do that. Everything works out when you surrender and you trust and you allow and you stop resisting and pushing against. I know it's a process. I know it's difficult. I know in the beginning, the ego is on full alert and resistance and fear, and you want to control and wrestle the DM to the ground. I know that, but you won't be able to because they run away from it and they escape. And then you have freedom because you just don't, you're not trapped anymore. And that's where you want to get to. And your inner work helps you with that, you know? All right. So let's talk. There is an end to the suffering. There is. There is an end. There is a finish line. And you don't have to keep on obsessing or dying, you know? And the DM does ascend and they do level up. There is a point of completion on the journey. It's not never ending, you know? And there is joy and there is bliss, and it's your birthright to be in that state, to be in that divine state. It is your birthright. You know, people ask how long will the suffering be? It's not forever. As long as you keep going with your energy in healing and aligning, there comes an end point. The cup ends, the cup finishes, you empty it all out. So choose peace and align to God. Stop the resistance and flow with it instead. Allow your ego to die each day and let go. It is beautiful and you are safe. Imagine like a child, you're taking swimming for the first time, you've got a swimming pool around behind there, and the child is scared. But you hold the child's hand and you have a life vest and you're there and it's not too deep and you're going to hold them. That's how God is holding you, and you need to trust. And you need to trust. Because twin flames are gods and goddesses. There are angels. But we've been just imprisoned by our own egos. We've got to let it go, and we've got to flow with it and trust it. Accept everything, accept it all, accept the current reality, whatever it is. It's okay. It's okay. It's not forever. It's not permanent. Just keep going back to that balanced state, that peaceful state, as much as you can. As much as you can, do your inner work. Do your purpose. Just keep taking a step forward each day. Yeah? All right. So abundance is your birthright in all things. You can crack the matrix and it will serve you. And you'll start seeing that. So obviously you start seeing the signs, the synchronicities and all that kind of stuff. But you get to the point where is that person still bothering us? I don't know how we can remove them. Bezetzi, please leave, otherwise we will have you removed. We've removed you. There we go. That person, I think, was acting up silly. Well, we will take them out right now. All right. Anyway, they've been blocked. So, you can crack the matrix and you can start allowing everything to align for you. So, basically, the universe will cooperate and work for you. So let me give you an example. This week I was trying to sort out things with the Bali retreat, and I text them. And basically, I didn't know they changed their number, but they emailed me straight away saying, oh, by the way, we need to talk to you. The exact thing that I wanted to talk to them about, they got it. And it's like the forces that be are working with us always. You will collapse the matrix and it will serve you. And as you get into union, you will get abundance in all shapes and forms. I know some of you are resistant to financial abundance. I clearly am not, as you can see. Because why should you resist God's grace? And why should you resist what's there for you? Everyone should be able to be in abundance. You know, abundance is for all. There's infinite abundance out there. People think there's only a small amount and we have to fight for it. That is limited perception, and that is lack mindset. There's abundance because not everyone wants everything at the same time. So ask yourself, are you getting the royal treatment? Are you treating yourself first with royalty? It comes from within first, yeah? You've got to really see yourself as a queen or a king or someone who is worthy and deserving of being treated well. Now, how does a king and queen or a god and goddess get treated, or an emperor and empress, you know? And it's not like an egotistical, it's a very humble, gentle energy, but it's someone who treats themselves with love and respect. And if someone is rude, they do not allow that. Like we blocked that person. They were going on and on. I don't know if I should have blocked that person, but I did. So please comment if I should have blocked them or not, but I blocked them because I tried to remove them and they came back in. Anyway, so the divine feminine brings the abundance codes. You know, we always talk about how you do it energetically, and then physically they will, I'll tell you how I cleared my abundance blocks. Physically, the divine masculine will embody it. In the beginning, some divine masculines are wealthy, but they are doing it from an egotistical, distorted template, not in the right field. So that collapses, and then it will be rebuilt. But you will rebuild it within yourself. And I'll show you, I'll share my story when I go through the questions as well. All right. And you are the love the divine masculine prayed for, believe it or not. All their lives, they've wanted that. And they are your love too that you prayed for, even though you might not sometimes think that. And because your love is written in the stars, and it's what great poems and great movies are about, that deep, pure, innocent love, you know. And you encourage your twin flame to do better, you know, to be better for you. They want to be better for you, and they want to show you. And there comes a point that they do that. My DM for sure right now is working overtime to do better and prove himself, which is great. And we appreciate that. So let's answer some questions. I know some of you were triggered. We had someone who is constantly messaging, God knows what. So let's go through it. So the questions are, how has the week been for you? Have you been having dreams? How are you stepping into your power? The world is your oyster, you know? Why cannot you be jetting off and living your life, you know? Why are you being restricted by marriages and karmics and no money and no self-belief or motivation? I'm here by myself. I have a 2-bedroom villa. And I've been running around naked, jumping in the pool. After this live, I'm going to jump in the pool. And why can't you? And before I came out, my gym reception guy was like, "Oh, are you going to be lonely in Bali alone?" I says, "No, never lonely. I'm always busy as well." So what is stopping you from being in your abundance? You know, there is an end point to your suffering as long as you commit to your healing. So let's have a look. What are people going through? Hi, what do you think about the Merkaba and the Kabbalah? Okay, so we've talked about the Merkaba before, which is the masculine and feminine energies inverted and how they work. So you can watch, there's a video about that, and you can watch that. And there's another person's video I've shared as well. And Regina Shaman talks about the Merkaba quite a lot. So that I believe is accurate for twin flames and how the energetic system works and how you intersect. The Kabbalah, I don't know much about, so maybe you know more and you can write about it. Hi, Manny, hope Bali is nice. It's nice. It's very, very humid. Okay. Mandragil, kind of lonely, ready for something new. Why are you lonely? You know, I'm here all by myself. I ain't lonely. I can't stop laughing. I have this thing, which I think is a good thing. I'm constantly laughing. I find things really funny. I find everything ridiculous and silly, and I don't feel alone. And I hear voices in my head. I hear God's voice. I hear my twin flames. I hear my guides. How can you ever be alone? You know, how can you be alone? Hey, Shadow of Sweden, crazy dreamer. Last week was a mixture of calm and again getting pulled back to thoughts because of him in my dreams. You know, it's okay to have them in your dreams, and it's okay to have the thoughts. You accept it and don't get rattled by it, you know, and be okay with it. I mean, I saw my twin flame's parent, like he told me his parents died in the dream. It's okay, you know, see the truth of it. Lots of dreams. A lot of people are having dreams. I dream, I cry. What do you cry about? Yes, many dreams. He was pushing me and rejecting me, or he was indifferent. So in the beginning, what you'll notice is in the bubble phase, usually your twin flame is very romantic and sexual with you. And then you go in the run of chase of phase, and they run away from you, and they're doing all the triggering. And then once you heal that, you get into inner union, you get married to them. And then you'll have a relationship and kids, and you'll travel, and you'll have businesses, and you'll be like a normal couple. So they change. They change. The dreams change. Del. Manny, it's crazy how DM's favorite phrase is to say the world is your oyster. Is that your DMs or is it everyone's DMs? I've never heard my DM say that, but maybe it's your DM. And I know your DM's quite spiritual. Mandagrio, I am of acceptance, but I don't feel the DM is. It's okay. They take time. We've talked about this before so many times. They have to they really want to test the connection and see that there's anyone else better that is easier. So they will reject until they can no longer. So you let them. Eventually they'll have to accept. My DM awakened finally about a month ago, but now he and we are facing terrible spiritual warfare. You have to protect yourself, because union can be attacked. It's just your own darkness coming out as well, and your own fears. I mean, personally, I don't believe I know there's lower vibrational beings. I've fought with them, but it's when I'm in a fear-based state. I've done astral travel where I've been fighting these entities and beings who try to take my soul out of my body. The psychic attacks. But it's when you believe in God and you stay aligned in high vibration, nothing can affect you. Nothing can affect you. That's what I believe. He changed when I changed. Yes, good. They do change. Sometimes it takes time. Crazy Dreamer wants to say something, which is good. Manny, I kindly have to disagree with calling any DF lazy because I've experienced being held without any progress. I believe everything is divinely guided. Well, true, maybe everything is divinely guided, but sometimes some DFs and DMs do it too. They drag their heels and they don't want to progress. And then it gets really hard, And sometimes if it's really challenging, you're being held back, just do something for your spiritual practice every day, Keep doing your meditation for an hour or whatever. Keep doing your prayers. Do something every day. Take a step forwards, I know sometimes it can be very painful and physically and mentally, emotionally, in every way, Like, you see, I've traveled. I've been ill all this week. Did you notice that? Did you notice any loss of service from my side? No. I was in airplanes. I came here. Did any of my posts stop? No. I kept the continuity. At the end of the day, it's up to you. How much are you willing to put in? The amount you put into your efforts is how much your DM will mirror. Are you willing to fight for your connection? Are you willing to die for your connection? Energetically, egotistically. True divine feminines who are on the twin flame journey will go to the ends of the universe for their twin flame. The ends of the universe, because they realize that that is their soul and they want to help it ascend. A lot of people are not twin flames, so they haven't been fully ignited, or there is a difference between if you meet your twin flame, you have something physical with them, sexual with them, or you date them, or you have a bubble phase. Yes, there is a difference in that because you have more connection there. But then also a lot of people don't do that, and then they have it energetically. But the true divine feminines who are really activated are doing everything because they know the truth. They are activated into their purpose, into their power, into their healing, into their service. They get out of the romantic notions. Now, there are a few who are twin flames who drag their feet, and the rest are just soulmates or in karmic connections. I'm not going to say that 60,000 people who follow me are all twin flames. I don't know for sure, but I highly doubt it. Okay? So I think a lot of people are in denial. But I also think that I know people very close to me actually who are twin flames, allegedly, who say they are, who drag their feet. And then God gives them thunderbolts a lot. And it's hard. But you get ahead of it by doing your work. And if you really want, because I hear all these divine feminines, I want him, I love him, I this and that and the other and all these. Not willing to do the work. Not willing to put the effort in. Like I said in my last week live, I'm doing my purpose money. I smile at the checkout girl every Saturday when I go to get my groceries. I don't know. You get what you put in, okay? You go to the gym, you get what you put in. You're going to do your career, you get what you put in. In life, you get what you put in. You put in 1%, you get 1% out. On the twin flame journey, you got to put a million infinite percent in. then the DMs change. Otherwise, no. This is ascension. This is moksha. This is liberation. This is enlightenment. Ascended masters were in jungles for years to do this kind of work. You know, you think you're going to get a free ride by sitting watching Netflix? You're not. You will suffer. You will suffer. I am finally free, and it's good. I like to hear that because it gives other people the knowledge that there is an end point and you can be free of the chasing and the running, and you can be in peace. It's a process of healing. And you know, the reason why I'm hard on you, because I know twin flame alleged people, DFs, etc., who've been on the journey 50 years, 20 years, and they're still in the same obsession. Still. Because a lot of them don't understand the journey, or even if they understand it, they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the purpose. They want to be saved. They want to be in misery. They want to be in drama. They want to be in victim. They want to be in victim. They do. Can you delete this guy? I feel negative energy from him. I felt it too. Yes, thank you. So I deleted him, blocked him. So thank you. Wonderful. All right. Okie dokie. Any questions? Any thoughts? Oh, how did I clear the abundance block? If I had any, let me know. Okay. So I did have some. So I grew up in, oh, I'm moving the thing around. I grew up in a household where we always had money. We did have money. We weren't poor, but we weren't rich either. So I never had that true poverty mindset ever. I always knew money was there, and I was quite good with money, but my money was never increasing. Considering like I'm a straight A student. Interestingly, my twin flame is also the same. I think he's smarter than me. Yeah. But for all my friends and their careers were flourishing, and they were getting all this amount of money and successful, and I was stuck on a very low amount of money I was stuck on, like your entry level money, and I couldn't progress. And I didn't know why. And everyone else used to mock me. They used to mock me because all my cousins and everyone are doctors, lawyers, you know, Indians, how they are, very wealthy people. But I was not. And at times I'd be in supermarkets giving out free samples of like chocolate. But I chose a different path to many. My first degree is Egyptian archaeology, which is strange. Then I took a year out to teach English in Germany and work for a non-profit. And then I did a master's in human rights. And it's a very difficult field to get into in the UN and all. So I was doing a lot of internships, a lot of free work to get my portfolio. And my family couldn't believe it. There was a point where my mom was like, just work in a bank. Just give up your dreams. But I never, because I'm very stubborn. But what helped me was Abraham Hicks. So the law of attraction, you know. I really started embodying that and raising my frequency, changing my mindset on money. And a lot of spiritual people that I hear about and know, they have a real hatred of money. Now, money's not bad. It's the people who misuse it, the people in power, right? But money itself is not a bad thing. I know my twin flame wants to be a multimillionaire, and I know he will be there. He's already showing success in that. And he loves luxury. He's Italian. He's done modeling and all that kind of stuff. They love all that kind of stuff. And for me, I've never been a materialistic person as such, but I wanted to have stability, right? And I know when you go through this journey, you go through a place of total inner union where you surrender everything. You become like a nun or a monk, and you have no desire for materialistic things. And you may even come to a stage, which I did, where you kind of think that you can't give your DM the life they require. You know they want a physical life, and you don't feel that you want to do that. You might go through a phase of that. I certainly did, where I actually wanted to go into the non-physical. So before I met my twin, I did a lot of Abraham Hicks work, and then I started, I went to their first workshop actually in Amsterdam before, and then I met my twin after my first cruise. But I think during lockdown is when things started to change for me. I surrendered. I learned to surrender. I used to constantly apply 50 applications a day for all these jobs, banging my head against the wall. I was going against the flow. I was resisting. I was controlling. And the universe or God didn't want me to go down this route. It wanted me to change and pivot to learn different things. So your journey can seem a little bit this way or that way. Like my journey was not straightforward. at all. You can search me up on LinkedIn if you want and see how I've done things. But eventually, by surrendering, aligning, raising my vibration, loving myself, I ended up doubling my money, tripling my money. And every cruise I went on, all these cruises I go to, Abrahamic cruises, everything always gets more up-leveled. So everything kept increasing, you know. And I stopped having an issue with money as well. I'd play all these little games, and Abraham Hicks teaches all of this. So, you know, pay for your friends' dinners, and don't be stingy with your money, and don't feel bad about it when you do pay for people, because the money returns, the money comes back. You know, like I got lots of free things today. Like people start treating you the way you treat yourself. And if you are holding on to money, which you can get that from your parents, and my dad was quite stingy, and then you could hold on to that, but you need to let it go, because abundance is in all forms, manifestation, and the vibration of union is pure love and allowing. So all the twin flames, I've always said this, that I know who are in union are very well to do. Everything is working in their life like dang, dang, dang. And they all say as well, they get treated like celebrities everywhere. And I've told you that I get that too, the royal treatment everywhere, because you give off that vibration of, it's like godliness or holiness, but it feels to people when they look at you like you are just dripping with gold and diamonds. That's your energy. That's your energy. So it attracts that. It's very much about working on yourself and knowing that you deserve to live the best life. And the reason why you deserve to have the best life is because you will use that money to help others. You need a stable environment for yourself so you can do your work, so you can help others. And then you will create centers or retreats or yoga studios or avenues. You're a twin flame. You will use your wealth for good. And that's needed. And you need to change the vibration around wealth. Good people need to have money. And then you can be in politics or governance or legal systems and change the world. We'll talk about the new earth and how things are changing and how governance structures are all toppling down. For example, Trump is a bringer of chaos, and that's what his role is. You know, he's trying to shake people that were before just abiding to whatever was going on and not questioning anything. The people used to just watch TV and trust the politicians and not question them. They have to question now. The world is chaotic. Elon Musk is the same. But in chaos, all structures that are not in alignment, including governments and politics and monetary systems, financial systems, will collapse. And new systems like crypto or whatever else will come into fruition. We're going through a rocky phase the next couple of years, but probably after 2029 onwards, we will come into a state of new things being created. And you as twin flames are part of that. You will be creating these new systems. So therefore, you need to be in powerful positions. I would personally like all twin flames to be in government, in politics, in financial systems, in non-profits, in the UN, you know, in community spaces, in the healthcare sector. I want twin flames to be embedded in media also. You need to get in there. There are some twin flames I know of who are infiltrated in they're in union, okay? And they're infiltrated in high top places because they are bringing light. They're bringing light to that. We need to do that. We are secret agents. So you need to have your stuff together. You need to have your property, your passports, your backup plans. This is a spiritual war. You need to be ahead of the game. We need to play the dark forces better than they play us. That's how it's got to be. And that's why you've got to have your abundance. The world has got to be your oyster, and you've got to get these people out of their power so that we are in power and we're doing the right thing. Sorry, that was a big rampage. Okay. I feel like ever since I let go, it put everything into motion. Exactly. You trust it. You can't do anything anyway. And we're here for a lot more. Okay. This twin flame thing, like a lot of people are, oh, my DM, I'm crying, sad face or whatever. We had to do way more. Like, listen, we got a lot of things to do in this world. You wait until the next few years come up and you lot sort yourselves out and we start clearing the world. I know quite a few powerful twin flame couples in union who are doing amazing things, and you've got to do that too. It's more than just the DM and being in a relationship with him. He'll come on board and he'll be there as well. But that's what I'm saying. Stop being lazy, because a lot of it is selfishness. Okay. We've got to start thinking about everyone. It's got to be the mindset. Like, I was ill, right? I was flying, but I'm thinking about you as well. Obviously I have to take care of myself first, and I'm okay. But we need to think about what we're here to do. It's bigger than just ourselves and, oh, my DM, and I wish my DM was in Bali with me and I was kissing him and jumping in. Oh, whatever, man. Whatever. Like, pull up your big girl panties and let's get some work done. Okay. I literally saw his name written on the stars when I pulled into astral realms. Oh, how wonderful. How beautiful. Look how magical it is. You've got to trust. If you're seeing his name in stars, how amazing. That gives you the kick to go and do your work. No? Yes, thank you for removing. Good to keep the vibes flowing. Oh, thank you very much. It was a good idea. This week has been strange. The channel between me and the DM feels completely shut off. Okay, I want to talk about that. Okay, good. I think the DMs are got angry and going through a void phase. Maybe to protect us from each other's energy. Correct. So when we were going through a lot, there's an energetic wall that gets created, and that's why they're doing their things like da-da-da-da, oblivious. They might feel a little bit, but not that much, because otherwise it's too much. They have to anchor the balance and balance the energy. A lot of us are detached now because they're going through it a lot. Okay, they're hermiting. They're really, their egos. They're realizing everything. They know everything now, and they're like trying to figure things out. Generally, not all of them, but generally they are. So that's why we're not feeling them as much, because we're being pushed now. Stop obsessing and get on and do your mission. You know, do your work. You need it. You're a soldier. All right. Yes, you are glowing, Manny. You are never alone. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I'm everything he wants. He said that already, but he's not exactly what I wanted for me. Okay, that's okay. It's understandable, but it's a block. Okay, it is a block, because maybe you're just looking at it from a physical perspective and not from a multi-dimensional perspective and from a perspective of when you're in union. Okay, so maybe sometimes that physically they're not the way exactly you wanted, or you wanted one guy with more taller or more muscles or whatever it is, you know, and then you might not be the exact type for them either, you know, but the energy's there and there's aspects of them. And as you heal those blocks, as you get to know them, as they heal, you know, because they're in the distortions of ego, but once they become innocent, pure babies, and they become devoted and spiritual or healed or serving you, serving humanity, doing your mission work, being your best friend, standing next to you. Oh my God, no one else compares. No one else compares. A lot of these other people. So I'm in Bali. There's a lot of like, you know, Westerners here, a lot of like influencers, gym goals. I went to this, I've got this amazing obsidian gym I went to, but a month's passed and everyone's like, you know, topless and taking videos and all that kind of stuff, and really hot girls and guys and stuff. Okay. It's surface level. Yes, they look good. It's a good fast meal if you want. But there's nothing more there to it. There's no sweet talkings. There's no romance and holding each other. There's no telepathic connection and finishing off each of the sentences, wanting the same thing at the same time, being each other's ride or die, and having a multitude of purpose together and mission, and that energy, that bubble, that union frequency of just oneness, that godly energy. They hold you to account as well, you know, so that you don't get out of alignment. They don't keep you lazy, you know. DMs will never keep you lazy. That's why I'll go on and on and on about you not being lazy, but the DMs will, as soon as you start faltering, they will start triggering. You will do the same though, but they will trigger you first. So they're always going to push you to be better, and you go ahead, and then that pulls them to be better. So when you heal all that stuff and you realize and you understand, a DM is the best person for you. Seriously. 1111, my DM. Yes, your DM is quite spiritual apparently. But the thing is, with them, a lot of it's just like on the surface, spiritual or religious. They're not really deeply into it. It's like in Bali. Let me tell you some stories. So a long time ago, I dated someone who worked for RuPaul's Drag Race, okay? And he claimed to be very spiritual. I'm a super manifest Manny. And he was a super prick. He was an idiot. He was a dickhead. He was new to spirituality, and his manifesting abilities was just his ego. You know, he wanted to get big fancy things to prove to the world he was amazing. You can have big fancy things, but from your soul, because it's beautiful to embrace it and share it and enjoy it, and you don't need to prove anything about it, right? But he ended up ghosting me and acting like an idiot. So in these places like Bali as well, you do get these spiritual people who are very new on the journey. Okay. And your DM might be like that in the beginning. Like a lot of them are like conditioned in community related work and community related religion or spirituality is very surface level. But you as a DF will be much more deeper. And as you heal, you'll get deeper and deeper, and they catch up too, you know, and they realize the truth of it. Like I was saying, in Bali, they really understand karma and they treat you with respect. Whereas in India, they've lost all that, you know? So yes, my DM is extremely well in the matrix, but I couldn't ground in the matrix at all. I have everything taken care of, but no career growth of my own. Now, career. Do you need a career? Not necessarily. If you have abundance from either family, friends, husband, or whoever it is, because I don't know who you live with right now, maybe you don't need to be physically working. Maybe your mission work could be working in the animal sanctuary or helping in the hospital or helping the kids center or something like that. It doesn't have to be actual physical 9-to-5 career, right? There's so many different ways to support the world energetically, emotionally, physically, and whatnot. And maybe your DM is meant to be the one anchoring it in the physical. But generally what happens is the DF is too spiritual and too woo-woo and too flying away, floating away. Like, you know, Mary Poppins, where she's floating away in the clouds. You have to ground it down, and you have to be both. Your inner DM and your DF has to be balanced. And then only when you do that, then he will start becoming spiritual. Because if you're not good in the physical world, then he doesn't have a reason to reach for the spiritual world. You've got to like do a little bit of both for each. But that doesn't mean you necessarily have to have a financial career. You might do it in different ways. And like I said in the beginning, a lot of the DMs, not all of them, mine was not, but a lot of them are physically well-to-do in the beginning. They have a lot of abundance, but it's all from ego, and they're very snobbish about it. You know, they do it because they want to prove something, because they feel lack. And once they meet you, eventually, once you do your work, they lose it all. A lot of them do. Or they reinvent themselves, and then they start doing things that is from the soul. So I don't know where you're at with your journey, but it seems like you're at the early to mid stages, because you're still going through stuff. Maybe you're just over the mid stage. I don't know. But I don't think we've ever had a session, but it changes. It changes. What if all this twin flame stuff is a facade? Well, I don't know how long you've been on the journey, but if you question and doubt, you are reminded in quite big ways, just as the DMs are. And if you've been on the journey for a while and you haven't been reminded by the universe, and you haven't fully got rid of the doubts and the confusion and the fear, then you're not a twin flame. Then just move on. Get a soulmate. Move on. Move on. And if you can't move on and you get the signs bombarding you back again, then you're a twin flame. Very simple. Those who are know. Those who are not won't know. It's like seeing God. You know, if I saw God, interesting, the voice of God spoke to me the other day. Before I left England, I was praying. My dad was ill, and I was asking stuff, and the voice of God spoke to me. Now, I heard that voice, so I know that it was real for me, right? And I hear those things, and I connect to that. But if I told someone else that, you think that they'll say I'm crazy. Now, if they had heard it, they would know that it's true for them. So twin flames who have experienced the journey, they know it's true. Yes, you doubt or question for a short while. Some of you seem to drag out that short while for quite a long time, years even, but eventually you get on board. You know, I don't think I questioned it for too long. I think I was insecure for a week, and then I questioned for a couple of months maybe, and then I was sure. Oops, apologies for going in and out. Technical issues. All right. You are inspiring, Manny. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Hopefully I wasn't being nasty to you. It's so hard. It is hard. It is hard. I remember someone asked me the other day in a comment, "Oh, Manny, how was your DM? Was it easy?" You know, to be honest, when I speak to some of you others who claim to be twin flames, I'd swap with, apart from one person I've had Every other story I've heard, the DMs have been all right. My DM's been very tough. It is hard, and that's how you're going to move. That's how you're going to do your work. If it was easy, you wouldn't do the work. You'd be lazy. It's got to be tough. It's got to hurt. It's got to bash you. And then you've got to go and want to do the work. For me, like, it felt like dying, which it does for you too. So I was like, I'd rather, do the work and plant medicine. That's what I did. I just needed to get out of the pain. I did everything. There was nothing I did not do. I feel like I went back to first week after all the growth. You will have sometimes small triggers come back, but they don't last for long. Yeah. Watch my live about the labels, and no label. Was it lose the label, lost the label, no labels? No, that one's a good one, because sometimes you do go back to certain themes until you let it go. But what you have to remember is to stay in alignment in that energy field with God, in that 0 point, and just let all the mind disappear. Because it feels good to love, and it feels bad to hate, and to be in that vibration of freedom and love and surrender and joy and happiness. Things work out. Like me getting my free raincoat today. Manny, what if we have multiple purposes? How do you know which one it is? Oh, very good. So you should watch my purpose series, which was from April to July last year. So do about 15 posts a day. You can watch it on TikTok and YouTube. You choose the one that gives you the highest excitement in the moment. Maybe you want to try a little bit of them out and see which one works out. But you do the one that right now, oh my God, it's so exciting. Like for me right now, to come to Bali was so exciting. So I came. Okay, I just came alone. There you go. Didn't think it. I'm going to be lonely, sad. Where is he? Sad face, crying face. I didn't care. I just came. You just do it. You stay in the moment. You stay in the now. Trust. Do the thing that gives you the most joy. Write them all down. Write all the 10 things you want to do. All the purposes that you say you have. Write them down. And then put them into order. Which one gives you the most excitement right now? Which one makes you so happy, for joy? Oh my God, dancing. I want to jump up. That's the one you need to do. I generally feel so much peace right now. Very good. And suddenly experiencing lesser feelings towards him. Lesser feelings as though like, oh, I could do better. I don't want him. That happens. That I watch my live about the labels. Have no labels, whatever it was. But it happens. It's just your ego. And then the love comes back and you get more grounded in it, more deeper. Okay, you will. It is so hard when you have more trauma to clear, it will take longer to ascend. Wow. I did a video this week, didn't I, about healing. You don't need to heal because you're already healed. In the 5D, you're already in wholeness. You just have to get to that place of alignment. So if you've met your twin flame, if you've been intimate with them, you will know about the feeling you have where time stops or it speeds up. You're in your alternate reality in the third dimensional unifying field, Hieros Gamos, many names for it, 0 point, inner union, outer union, whatever is going on. You're in a place of pure bliss. There's no thoughts. You're looking at them like they're angels, and they're looking at you like you're an angel. And it's the Holy Spirit there with you. God's with you. That's the place you want to be. That's the place your soul is. Okay. That's where your higher self is. That's where your soul is. There's no judgment. There's no questioning. There's no anxiety. There's no depression. It's just love. And it's peaceful. It's beautiful. It's like taking off all your clothes and going for a naked swim in the swimming pool. You're so happy. You don't care. That's where you want to be, right? But when you start coming back into the mind and the focusing on the other things, that's when you will go down the rabbit hole. And when I did Ibogaine, remember in April, I did the live called Reborn. Watch that. It talked about our soul and how we choose to hold on to debris. The soul is like the ring, and we hold on to all that trauma. And that's what causes us pain. So you can let go of it all right now, if you choose to, if you allow to. But sometimes you hold on. You're afraid. Step by step, keep doing your inner work, keep loving yourself. It will empty out of you. It will empty out of you. The more work you do, I say do plant medicine if you can. Come to the Bali retreat. Clear it up faster. It cleared mine so quickly. After union, what type of work do DMs need to do? Do you mean physical work? Sometimes they will have their own projects, but then sometimes they will also work with you and help you with your mission. So they might help you financially or emotionally, or they will work with you, you know? So with me and my DM, we will do like humanitarian related work together at times. It'll be very fun. But then he'll also do his own projects and I'll do my own projects. It's like that. I've been having endless dreams of him. I notice the dreams haunt me when we're in separation every night. Now I feel very icky and repulsed by him since I fully let go and surrendered again. Yes. And I know you've been in union as well. But when you are in separation, you will have dreams. And they do get sweet. And you've got to learn to heal the ickiness. Because that's just you having an issue with them, which is yourself. There's a communication issue. There's a block where you're not accepting and understanding. There's somewhere inside where we're rejecting them. That's why they're running as well. I mean, what do the DFs do after soul? What work do DFs do after soul union? Well, before soul union, you should be doing your purpose, your mission, whatever is giving you the highest excitement, because that will be the energy that you need to be in, which will help humanity. And it doesn't mean you have to be giving out free food and charity work or twin flame work. You could be in your highest excitement being an actress in a soap. And you're so happy doing it, giving off great vibrational energy that you heal the millions of viewers who watch you. They all get healed just by watching you on the TV. That could be your... So all of us will have different things. We're different, okay? My eyes cry like sponges. I am like, come on, stop. And then there's funniness. Yeah, a million. I don't know how I'm still alive. Yeah, there was so much suffering and tears for the past 3 years. Now I finally stopped being obsessive. I did a lot of healing therapies. Good. It's lifetimes of stuff, you know, and we're clearing up others. It's a lot. It is a lot. And I do make fun of it sometimes because I'm out of it. And I do sometimes have a go at you saying stop being lazy. Because I want you to get out of it too. And I want you to be doing your purpose and living abundantly and having a great life. Because I know when you're stuck in it, it's not nice. And we elongate the suffering by staying in it. It's easy to get out of it if you just let it be, you know? That's what I know. A couple of weeks ago, I had an astral experience with my DM. I felt his arms around me, telling me he loves me and told me I loved him too. After that, his energy was gone. Now he's fighting our bond. So keep remembering the truth. The truth is the love. The physical part may be, you know, fighting it, but they won't fight for long. Keep remembering that. 100% to everything you said, Manny. It's freeing when you surrender the obsession and chase. It allows you to put all that energy back into your feminine healing process and self-love and purpose. Is building the life you deserve, Manny. Oh, yes. My DM is working. I'm going to be living the life, honey. I already am living the life, but anyway. My DM posts a lot about how to be a millionaire. I've seen this as step back, like he was still asleep. No. Why? That's the thing. Spiritual people have such a problem with being a millionaire. I'd love to be in that millionaire mindset. Why not? Why not? I'll use that money to build loads of retreats. And then I'll offer free sessions or discounted sessions for locals and other people. Like, why not? Like, what you all imagine all the things you could do with the money. Come on. Let them get rich and let them get into those powerful positions, because their energy will heal those distorted men in those positions, you know? It's okay. So much gratitude for you sharing your journey and being a guiding light. All right, wonderful. Stable environment is a reflection of inner stability. Good. I spend money even if I have less, but my TF is stingy even though he earns good. That's typical. But they'll heal that because he's just doing the opposite as you know. But he is obsessed with money and has a wound around money. So he's holding on to money, even though he's got abundance, he's not trusting it. And you don't have abundance and you're not trusting that you can. So there's an issue with trust with money or believing you're worthy of it and it can stay. There's a fear around money that needs to be let go of. Exactly. Money should be with good people so its energy changes and purifies. That's my thought too. Money isn't bad. It matters who has it and who spends it. Yes, whether on wars or growth. Yeah, we can invest in, as Divine Femmes, we can invest it in so many good projects and build structures and help people with healing. You know, we need that money. I'm all about wildlife. When I win the lottery, I will give a lot to the animals. Why wait on the lottery? That's not the only way you can get abundance. There's so many different ways, you know? So it's good. Yes, very impressed, Manny. Spiritual warfare. There you go. I so get this. All right, wonderful. I agree with you. You know, it's very good to kind of like progress your mindset, because in the beginning it's all like, oh, DM, I want him to save me and hug me and love me and kiss me and heal me or whatever it is, yeah? And you're obsessed with that poor man or woman who has their own issues, and you're putting it all on them. They're collapsing, you're collapsing, and you want to hold on to them. So they hold on to karmics. But you've got to hold on to God, and then get into your power, and they do the same and follow you, and they mirror you. They all mirror. You're the leader, and then you basically thrive, you know, and then start to understand it's about mission. It's about the planet. It's about the universal energies. It's not just all about him. He's already there anyway. He or she, the DM is you. They're always there. So just keep going forwards. Don't, because some of you are like, oh, I'm just waiting for union, then I'll start purpose. Oh, I'm just waiting for this, then I'll start purpose. It's not going to happen that way. You've got to do the things first, because they follow that. Okay. I hear you when you say what our responsibilities are, but I'm 56. I have had businesses, kids, bad long marriage. I'm tired. I'm glad when I figure out how Instagram works. Well, you don't need to do anything on Instagram. And also, things that you said failed and broke apart probably were done from that old template of distortion or unhealed energy. And now that you've healed, even if you're 56, you're probably going to look like you're 36, because we obviously go backward in age. But it's about what you do for your kids and your grandkids and the people around you. And in your 50s, you're more centered, more balanced, more peaceful, more wise, more looked up to. So there's so many good gifts you can do still. You know, most of us are going to live till about 85. I'm going to live to 100 probably. So why wouldn't you want to just like share that? You know, when Buddha got enlightened, he wanted to go back and share it with everyone and teach them and heal them and help them. He didn't want to keep it for himself. You would have tasted all the wonderful things and gone through so much. You don't want to help other people? You don't want to help other people? You're tired? Like, what's wrong with you people? You won't be tired once you know, the twin flame teachers that you have out there who are endlessly working and all that. Where do you think the energy comes from? You know, we get superhuman energy as twin flames when we do our mission. All that goes away. You get so excited to do things. Obviously, you figured out such a cool community. Oh, wonderful. Yes, oneness. His manifestation was his ego. Whoa, you are funny. Manny, I never could share my story publicly, but my story is something completely different. Well, then if you want to do it anonymously, why don't you send me an email? We can have a look. Some of you do have a slightly different story, so that's okay. Some of you are outliers. Okay, what do you do when, as Divine Feminine, you think that if your DM got intimate with other girls, how will you be able to accept him in the future? Oh my God, that's from the ego. So much from the ego. My DM has done lots of things, and I have done lots of things too. But that's okay, because when you're together, you feel like virgins. You feel like innocent, pure children, and everything gets cleared. And like I said, you're in that third energy field where there's no thinking and there's no thought. You need to watch my video live called No Labels from last week. But there is no thought, and there's no judgment, and it's just love. It's just pure ecstasy and love. Oh my God, it's amazing. So why do you want to be even thinking about stupid stuff? It's just hindering you. It's just ego. It's conditioning from society. You know, he had to do what he had to do he wasn't in his right head space. You know, he was looking for you maybe, or he was pissed off with what other people in the world and feminines, and he was having, you know, a go at everyone because he didn't think love existed. Don't hold that against them. Don't hold that against yourself. You stop your own peace, bliss, and abundance if you hold on to that. Now, those of you who have followed me for a while, I don't talk about my DM anymore in personal context. You can watch the old stuff. He did everything. You were crazy. And I found it very hard to forgive all that, like way more than whatever you've written there. But why would I hold against for myself my multimillionaire money that's going to come from him, and the love, the abundance, the children, the traveling, the sex, the triggering as well, and the being in godly energy and always being held to account, the fun, the innocence, the feeling of virginity, and the anti-aging, and the pure essence of divine love, like unconditional love. Why would I hold that against myself? I want to receive that, so I let everything else go. That's the journey. You have to forgive and let it all go. That's how you become ascended master. You let it all go. You let all the bullshit go. And you stay in the pure love. And you see everyone that way. Everyone's children of God, and they have their own egos and distortions and traumas, and they act out. And in the future, your DM will feel quite bad about what he did, and doesn't even know why he did it, But thank God you let that go. And also, let it go, because the world needs union so that we can help the world. Okay? So even if you don't care about him or yourself, think about the rest of us. We don't necessarily need, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in your soul contract. But it'd be lovely if you could get out of the way of it and allow it to work out how it's got to, knowing that it's more than about you. It's more than you. And also, your DM is you. It's a soul aspect of, it's your soul. It's your soul in that body. So why are you hating yourself? My DM had a lot of fun times. My DM is a white man. Like a lot of would think a very attractive man. He's gay though, but still white men have a lot of most privilege in the world. Very privileged people. Pretty, white, tall, muscular, very, very privileged. I could hold that against him, but why? We don't choose how we're born, who we're born, what we go through. It happens, We have to forgive. My DM says, thoughts of me is not even making him to sleep in peace, and he had thoughts of me living a happy life and many things, and feels he's addicted to me. That's what happens to them. Once you really get balanced, they can't stop thinking about you. You get to a place of peace and bliss, and they get into a lot of anxiety, and that's why they have to come back. Okay, I'm going to finish off now because I think it is very late. Last few questions, and we're finishing off. All right. Yes, there is no getting off. The moment you think you can move on and get bombarded by synchronicities. There we go. I'm not going to go through any more, but I am going to remind you that if you truly want to make the world into your oyster, even if you have money blocks and you think, I don't know where it's going to come from, because we have payment plans. PayPal do 0% interest for 4 months. You can pay incrementally, and you can get the quantum shifts and the movements that you want to happen in your journey. Every time I went on a retreat, Abraham Hicks or otherwise, my life got better. I got more abundance. I got more clarity, more alignment, more success with my twin flame. So the Bali retreat is happening from the 23rd to the 29th of January. We have a few spots left. The link is in the bio. I urge you, if you just fill it in and don't overthink it. The timetable is here. Is amazing opportunity for you to really accelerate, get out of your blocks and move forwards. It's a gift. It's a gift from Mother Earth. So with that, I do wish you all the well. I know it's difficult. I know it's challenging, but you have to keep pushing through. You have to push through the pain, and you have to get through, because it finishes, it ends, and you get to such a beautiful place. I'm always laughing and smiling and dancing. I've never been happier in my life. I was always a happy person, but I am, normally you have like dips down and not. Just no, it's always beautiful. Never alone, never sad. And that's what you deserve. So you do your inner work, do your purpose, get into alignment, let go of all the ego and the thoughts and the past, and just live freely. And let's see how this week, if you're in Bali, come and meet me. There's someone who follows me who's going to meet me on Friday. She's coming from Australia for a week, so we're going to hang out. So if you want to hang out, want to come visit. Let's do it. See you later. Be happy, have fun, enjoy your life. Life is precious. Don't hate. It hurts to hate. It feels good to love. Remember that. It's amazing.